Good morning. Here is this week's food for thought. As we continue to look at the 10 ways to love, we come to point number 4. Point number 4 deals with the topic of listening. Do you listen to people? Now, I know that when we talk about listening, we need to come to an understanding of the difference between listening and hearing. I'm not talking about hearing the audible sounds that come from a person and hearing the words, but actually listening to the words. Actually listening with an open mind and an open heart to hear what they have to say. Have you ever gotten into a discussion or to a disagreement with someone else? Do you take the time to listen? Are you ready to listen in such a way that you say to God, God, allow me to see if what this person is saying, if there's anything that I need to fix in my life? Or are you quick to respond, to try and find a way, even into the point of interrupting, whether it be to defend oneself, or whether it even be to interrupt in the place of trying to point the finger or the blame on someone else? You see, the fourth key to truly loving is listening without interrupting. It's allowing the person to be heard. But in the midst of being heard does not mean we have to agree with, but it means allowing that a person the opportunity to speak. Do we allow that? Do we allow that person to be able to share their thoughts and their feelings? When we're speaking about people we love, do we allow that opportunity for the other person to speak, or are we too busy speaking ourselves or finding any moment where we possibly can, where we can interrupt and interject our opinion? You see, King David, in the midst of his wisdom, we've spoken about King David, but also King Solomon. King David was one who recognized the love and the importance of living for Jesus. He was willing to speak for what was true. And King Solomon in the book of Proverbs, well, he prayed for wisdom. Wisdom to not always speak at that moment, but be able to understand, to listen without interrupting, to decipher between what is wise and what is foolish. And one of my favorite chapters in the book of Proverbs, in deciphering this, is Proverbs 18. I don't know if you've taken the time to read through Proverbs 18, and I'm not going to take the time to read through the entire chapter, but I encourage you sometime this week to take that opportunity to read through Proverbs 18. But what I like is, I'm going to focus in on one verse for a moment. Proverbs 18, verse number 2. Here's what it says. Fools find no pleasure in understanding, but delight in airing their own opinions. Oftentimes, why we interrupt someone else is because we want our opinion to be heard. We want our opinion to be expressed. But I want to challenge you this week to stop and to listen. Take the time to listen to people. Don't interrupt. But don't also look for an opportunity or an avenue to jump in and to attack. But show people love by being willing to listen without interrupting. Allowing them to be able to share what is on their minds and on their hearts. And then deciphering through God's will. And encouraging through God's will. Love the people you're called to love. Love them in a way where they feel Jesus. And they see Jesus through the way you live your life. Listen without interrupting. It's hard, but it's necessary. Point people to Jesus. Point people to the cross. Point people to his love. But allow it to be seen in a way that is respectful, in a way that is loving, in a way that is full of mercy. Until next time.